So today we will discuss about integration testing. So 1 minute. So in last class we have discussed already static testing techniques. So under testing techniques, review, walkthrough, inspection, and we have seen very in detail and what is QA, QC, and QE. So and very in detail of levels of testing, unit testing. So next testing is integration testing. So integration testing means, see, integration testing performed between two or more modules. So modules means what? So what is module? So it is a small functionality or we can say feature of a software. Okay, for example, Gmail application, banking application, insurance application. So this is a small functionality or small feature of a software. And integration testing perform means what? So integration testing want to be performed at least two modules will be integrated. So after completion of unit testing, we do integration testing. So integration testing focus on checking data communication between multiple modules. So what is that meaning? So there is one module which will take some input and produce some output, right? And that output will become the input for the next module. So it will like this. So what I'm saying, so let us say I'll take one example to explain this point. So let us say one module here. Okay. One module means, for example, A. I have A module. So then if we want to text, we have to pass some input to A module, right? So what is that? This is input. So after passing some input, it will give some output, right? This is input and this is output. So that's why I'm saying one module will which will take some input and produce some output. That output will become the input for the next module. Okay, that output becomes this output that the input to the next module. And what is that input? I'll take B. Okay, this is second module. So one module which will take some input and produce some output, and that output will become the input for the next module. So this is the meaning of that point. So we are going to test the communication between these two modules. After combining these two modules is called integration testing. So integration testing means we are checking the data flow between the two or multiple modules. That comes under integration testing. And what is the third point? Integration testing is white box testing technique. Normally, integration testing conducts two different things. In the developer point of view, they will test the code. They will write the code for module A. This is the module A, right? So they will write the code for module A. They will write another code for module B. They will integrate those two programs. Okay. And they will test the code. How the integration will happen. Okay. This comes under integration. So in that context, we can say the developer will perform the integration testing at the code level. Is it clear? Is it clear? Both of you, Rajesh
Yes,
and Kiran.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, clear.
Suppose sometimes testers will solve. Yeah, Rajesh. So suppose sometimes testers will also perform integration testing. So how come it is possible? Because let us say, for example, we have something called one application. We'll take our very easy way. So Gmail application. So log in one module, right? So after successfully all mailbox, that is second module. And if you delete some mails, that is trash box, right? It will go in trash box. That is another module. So there are three modules in the application. Let just assume one login, one module. Login is a one module. All mailbox, that is second module. Trash box, that is third module. So there are three modules in the application. So in integration testing developer point of view, they will write some code for login, write the code for mailbox, write the code for trash box. This is just a coding part, and then integrate these modules. That three modules, they will integrate. So what developer will do, first execute first module. So after this, it went to mailbox. And then after deleting this, action the mails, what it will happen? The mail comes to the deleted email section. So integration program will be tested. So that is integration testing done by the developer. So this is purely white box testing. Now come to the testers. For the same login, instead providing the code, they will provide the UI part, user interface part. So likewise, username will be there, password field. Then we have to enter the data. Then we will get another page. So Gmail page, that is Gmail page. Here we will see mailbox, sent items, and so on. So on the UI side, we conducted integration testing. So first to verify the login by passing username and password, then successfully login application. Then we will check the email box. We have a emails or not. So after this, deleting the emails, that mails come to the trash or not, that will be verified, because these are the different modules. But the communication will be there between these two modules, right? How the data is coming and communicating between these two modules, that we are going to test at the application level. So this is also comes under integration testing. So in the testing point of view, we are conduct integration testing at the application level, not at the code level. So in the developer point of view, developer conducts integration testing at the coding level. So that is the basic difference. Clear, Rajesh?
It's clear.
Yeah. So next, types of integration testing. So there are two types of integration testing that we have. So incremental integration testing, non-incremental integration testing. That is two types. One is integration, incremental. Let us understand what is that. Incremental integration testing is very, very, very important. So incrementally adding the modules and testing the data flow between the modules. Suppose we have one module, right? We have one module A. So they will integrate with another module B. Okay, with A. Then they will check the communication between two modules. So again, we add one more module, that is called C. So we add one more module C and then check the communication between these modules. So keep on adding new modules with the existing module. Okay, and test the data flow and communication between these modules is called as incremental integration testing. So we don't integrate all the modules at once. We are integrate the modules one after another, which is called as incremental integration testing. So again, this incremental integration testing approaches are of two types. One is top-down approach and bottom-up approach. Okay. So first, let us understand what is top-down approach. So incrementally adding the modules and testing the data flow between the modules and ensure the modules added is the child of previous module. What is that meaning? So, for example, we have a module A, right? I'm taking one more example. A and B. So what I'm saying, we have a module A integrate with another module should be B. So the child of the existing module B. So A is the parent one, B is the child one. For example, let us take once again Gmail application. We have two modules, right? One is composing the email. After this composing, the same email comes to the sent items. First, what we will do? Composing email. Okay, once this action is done, then next one comes to the sent items. So until unless composing the email, that email can't come to the sent items, right? So here, before the sent items, we have to compose. Just assume this is a compose. Okay, and this is a sent items. So composing email, once this action is done, then next to what it is, it will go to sent items. So once if we not composing the email, then this email can't come to the sent items, right? So that is what I'm saying. In top-down approach, we will check the data communication between these two modules and make sure the module whichever we have added should be the child of the existing module. So if tomorrow you added the another module, for example, trash, so this is another child module. So compose, this is a parent module. Okay, this is the top one, top-down approach. I'm explaining top-down approach. Okay. So compose, this is a parent one. Sent items, this is a child one. If you add another module, that is called another child one, that is trash. So what is the definition of it? Incrementally adding the modules and testing the data flow between the modules and ensure the module added is the child of previous module. That is the meaning of top-down approach. Okay, is it clear, guys? So So what is parent and what is child and why we are calling top down approach? It will comes to top to down.
Any real-time example for top-down or bottom-up?
So for that we have access of tool Kiran. So that's why. So see, and that's why I'm telling very simple example of Gmail application. So this is, for example, this is Gmail application, right? So if we can't you compose the email, it will not go to sent items, right? So what is that meaning? So they integrate two modules. If you um so first my question is, if you so first you check the sent items or you compose the email. Which one is first?
Compose.
Compose. So compose, if you didn't do that, if you're not any writing the email in compose, then what happened? It will not go to the sent items, right? So that is the parent one. So after that, it will go to sent items. And what I'm saying here, if I deleted something, it will go to trash box. There is connected, right? So first compose, next sent items, next trash box. If I store next, then it will go to it's a inbox or sent items, right? So it will be some interlinked, right? That's why I'm saying it is a top-down approach. First, we have to check compose and next sent items and next trash box. So it will go to top to down. So we have to verify that sequence. And if you take bottom-up approach, so incrementally adding the module and testing the data flow between the modules and ensure the module added is the parent of previous module. So again, here what I'm saying, it will go for, this is a top-down approach. But here what I'm saying, ensure the module added is the parent of the previous module. So for example, what I'm saying, mm, this is a top-down and this is a bottom-up approach. So I'll explain everything. Same way, so what is that? First compose and next send box. But here it will come first sent items and next compose. So first we will go sent box. If the sent box is present, then that is already compose. So first start testing from sent box. Okay, if we get this module, then we will integrate the parent module and combinedly we will test the module. We cannot test the independent module. We have to combine and test it. Until unless we cannot compose, right? We cannot test the sent items. First, integrate the parent module and do the testing. In top down, we will integrate the child module and do the testing. So what is our ultimate goal? Everything is same. That is integration testing, but approaches is different. There will be another approach is called sandwich or hybrid approach. I mean, here, wait, I will close this one. So sandwich or hybrid approach. So the combination of top-down and bottom-up approach. So these three comes under incremental integration testing. So once again, I'm explaining what is top-down approach. In top-down approach, so first, what we are seeing here in Gmail application, first we compose the email. So after this, it will go to the next sent items, sent box. And if you deleted the sent box, I mean sent emails, then it will go to trash box. So first you will check the compose, next sent items, next trash box, right? So it is top to down. But here first you will check trash box, next sent items, next compose. It will go to bottom to up. So everything is same. Integration testing you can do the same way, but approach is different. You can test from top to down, or you can test to bottom to up. So it is up to you. So how to do that? So if you check, if you verified the sent box, or if you verified the trash box, it's already, if you see, first I will take the trash box. It means what happened? Okay, already it will delete it from sent items. Okay, I will check to the next. I will go to the sent items. So, okay, that again I'm testing, integration testing. Next, what happened? Okay, already it will compose the email. It already done. So that's why next I will go to the compose mail. So I will test the integration testing. Actually, what happened? It is not our part of job. Integration testing, we will not do that, right? So it's completely developer's job. So we are not part of this. Just we are learning here the knowledge purpose. What is integration testing, and what are the types of integration testing? But actually, we entered in system testing. Here we entered in system testing. This is our part of job, but this is not our part of job. Why we are saying here? Just our knowledge purpose and for interview purpose. So if you want to if you want to see in practical, then we have an access that tool and coding everything. So this is done by at the code level. So that's why we can't do that. So just we have a theoretical part, okay, and we are not developers also. Just in my previous experience, and we have I have just seen so how to do that. That's it. And it is a little bit difficult because I'm not a developer, right? And my part comes from the system testing. So next, what I'm saying. So next to non-incremental integration testing. So adding all the modules in a single shot and test the data flow between the modules. So most of the time we don't perfect this one. So because it has three drawbacks. Sorry, and there is one is not. So we might see first point, what is that? We might miss data flow between some of the modules. Suppose we do incremental integration testing, uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are less chances to miss the particular module. But here we integrating all the modules in a single shot. So while testing, we may miss some modules in between. So if you find any defect, we cannot understand the root cause of the defect. So it is very difficult to find out the defect belongs to which module, because we integrate all the modules at once. It is very difficult to understand the root cause of defect. Because of two drawbacks, we don't prefer this non-incremental integration testing. Okay. So why we are not choosing this non-incremental integration testing? So it is integrating all the modules in a single shot. Okay. That's why if we do testing, we may miss some modules. So if we miss some modules, if we find any bugs, so we can't understand the root cause of defect, where it will come. So that is very difficult to find out the defect. So that's why we don't prefer this non-incremental integration testing. And next is system testing. So testing overall functionality of the application with respect to client requirement. So here mainly focus on functionalities of the application. So this is very important, and here testers involved in this part from here. Okay. So what I'm saying, functionalities. What is the meaning of functionalities? So in my application, so and so should be there, right? And they will give some requirement, right? So as a tester, what you will do is the requirement is present in the software or not. The requirement is working properly or not. The requirement functionalities is working properly or not. Functionalities means some feature, okay, some feature of a application. If you take WhatsApp, okay, what features and functionalities we have? We can add the contact, we can send the messages, we can send the videos, images, we can share the location map. So these are all different features of WhatsApp, right? Similarly, every software, every application having different number of features. So in the system testing, we are going to test those features. We are test the code. We are test the functional features with respect to the client requirement. So whether it is working according to the client requirement or not. So that is the main intention of system testing. So it is a black box testing technique. So we are not going to test the code. We are getting the user interface. That application will install it by developer and completely test it. So this is conducted by the testing team because here we have to know the requirement. That is the main thing and have to thoroughly understand the requirement, that flow and the user interface. That's more important. No need to understand the code. What is created by developers. So after completion of component and integration level testing, and we start system testing. So if you see the hierarchy of testing, first unit testing, next integration, next system testing. So until unless those testing are completed, we cannot get the build or we cannot get the application by the developer. Then we will start the system testing. So before conducting the testing, we should know the requirement. So we will have different documents provided by the customers, customer designers, developers. We will read those documents and understand clearly. Then only we can conduct the testing, right? So system testing mainly focusing on below these aspects like user interface testing, functional testing, non-functional testing, usability testing. So these four categories are going to conduct. So in the coming sessions, I will explain in detail because before conducting the testing, we have to know what kind of testing we have to do. So if you know the what, then the next level is how. If you know what type of testing should be conducted, then the next level, how to conduct those testings. Okay. So next, system testing mainly focus on these four aspects, right? So first one, what is that? User interface testing. Means what? User interface means user interface application. For example, if you take Amazon.com, that is user interface, right? What we have seen. So what is user interface test on the user interface part? So you are going to test all the images. Okay. All the images are aligned or not, logo display or not, application elements, check boxes, text boxes, drop down of properties or displayed or not, look and feel, color, font. So these things are mainly focused. That is called user interface testing. And each and every flow is properly working or not. So navigating between the pages. And these things comes under UI testing. And what is functional testing? So we are going to test the functionality of the application. We are going to test the functionality of the application. So it means the navigation is about actual functionality. If you take, for example, banking application, he tested the login. That is one functionality. And we will test the balance. That is another functionality. Money transfer, another functionality. So adding a payment, generating statement, request to checkbook. So these are functionalities. So once the application is there are a lot of main functionalities, right? So we are going to test those functionalities that working properly or not. That comes under functional testing. So we have input domain testing and error handling testing, database testing. Different types of testing will be there and under functional testing. Okay. So we will discuss in upcoming sessions. And let's see what is non-functional testing. So it's like security testing, performance testing, installation, compatibility. These are all comes under non-functional testing. So once the functionality is stable, then we will start doing non-functional testing. So if the functionality is perfectly working fine, then performance is going to be tested. So performance is what? What is the meaning of performance? It comes under non-functional. So it means the speed of the application. Suppose the application is accessing by n number of people through internet and you are checking the speed of application. Means how well your application is responding to the users. That is the speed of application. But before testing that we have to test the functionality is stable or not. That is very important. And then non-functional testing will start. So we test performance testing in this again load, volume, compatibility, security. So there are different types of testings will be there and that comes under non-functional testing. And in the real environment, there will be a separate environment will be there to conduct non-functional testing. So this is not done by the normal functional testers. So there are separate dedicated team. Okay, there are separate dedicated team will be there to conduct a non-functional testing because that needs a different setup environment. So normally environment will not be sufficient to conduct a non-functional testing. So experts will be there. Security testing, performance testing. So these testings are very huge testings and a lot of expertise to conduct those testings. So especially the special category team will be there. In that team, they will take care of those testing. So finally, we have usability testing. So usability testing means it is user experiment testing. Suppose we brought some product like mobile, bike, car, etc. So along of uh, those products, we will get some documents, right? User manual documents, and it contains how to use the product. And that document is required for the user. So along with the software, they required user manual document to the user or customer. So we have to test that document that have proper content or not and how to install the product, how to perform the functionality. So each and every step, whatever we do in the application will be documented. So sometimes in your application, you will see some menu at the corner. So if you open the notepad or whatever we can see, help menu. So there we can get the help of particular product. So those things we are going to focus and that comes under usability testing. So it means user friendly application. Okay. Next, we will see in detail. So this is system testing. Okay. And that is the exact area where we have mainly focus on. So what is system techniques? And again, what are the different types of testing we will conduct as part of the system testing? So system testing means what? So first, see the hierarchy of system testing. So under hierarchy of system testing, GUI testing, usability, functional testing, non-functional testing. So system testing means we are going to test the overall functionality of the application as per the client requirement. And when we have conducted testing, after completion of integration testing, we will conduct system testing. So there is separate environment that we have, that is QA, QC testing environment. We have to set up our own environment where we conduct the testing. So it is not a developer environment. The second thing is that environment we can exactly replicate the hardware and software requirement. So customer using some kind of environment like machine or software in their environment and the same kind of environment replicating in our company. So that environment test our software. So system testing is nothing but testing the system or testing the software or we can say product or application as per the client requirement. So we are mainly focusing on these four different areas: GUI testing, usability testing, functional testing, non-functional testing. So in these four categories, mainly focus on functional testing, functional testing part, And non-functional testing is a huge kind of testing. There is a separate environment required, separate skills is required, like performance testing, security testing, load testing, recovery testing, and so on. So there are a number of testings are there. So first, we will see graphical user interface testing. So whenever you use some application, where exactly interacting with. So you are interacting with the UI, right? Your user interface. So you will browse some application, you will get some screen. What you can see on the screen, you can see some text boxes, check boxes, drop down, radio buttons. So and also you will see some text, scroll bars. So these are the different things you see on user interface. So these are basically called as elements, or you can say objects. Here mainly focus on the UI application. So every application or every software is having two different parts. One is front end and one is back end. Okay. So the user will interact with application through front end. So actual operations will be done in the back end. So as a user, I can't see anything what exactly happening in the back end. So for example, if you take internet banking application, there is a login, right? So login into internet banking application with valid username and valid password. Once you log in, you will see all details and everything. But where exactly the data is coming from? The exact data is stored in somewhere in the servers or in the databases. From there, you are getting the data which is presenting on the user interface, and then you will able to see the data. So that is called front end part. But actual operation, actual data will be stored in the back end, right? So event testing can be done in two different ways, front end and back end testing. So here the graphical user interface testing mainly focus on front end part or UI part. So where the user interact with application. So the definition of graphical user interface testing is, so GUI testing is a process of testing the user interface of an application. And what is the second definition of that? A graphical user interface includes all elements such as menus, checkbox, buttons, colors, font sizes, so etc. So our main focus on UI part, not exactly on functionality. Functionality means it is a little different again. So it is a working process. But here we are checking the elements and what are there in the application. So this is simply called as graphical user interface testing. So what exactly we test as part of a GUI? So this is basically called as GUI testing checklist. Okay, this is checklist of that. So before testing application, after understanding the requirement, you prepare some kind of checklist. So normally we prepared in the Excel file. Okay, and then we will check every item that we tested or not in the application. So let us see what we have in the checklist. Here mainly, here main focus on look and feel of the application and how application looks and how it is attractive. So because if the application is more attractive, then only user attract with application, and it should have a color, font, good images, image should be clarity. So main focus on UI application. So let us see what exactly we do. So up to that, is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah. So let's see. First point is testing the size, position, width, height of the elements. So let us say I have a small image or small logo. Something is placed on my UI. Okay. And even a text area box, drop down, whatever the element you have in the UI. So every element should have some size, right? Some position. So where exactly the element is placed and width, height of the element should be verified, and that is one option. But where we will get in this information? So how you will know? Because we are comparing with actual requirement, right? We are also have design documents according to the functional requirement document. So we should also keep the design documents, and in that they exactly specify in the UI level. So they will give us something called wireframes. So wireframes means what? Dummy screens. Okay, before developing the application, they will draw the pictures of the screen. So we can say mock pictures. So technical term is wireframes, okay? Or and by seeing those pictures, they will also give the actual size, position, height, width of those elements. By seeing them, we prepared some test cases and then we can compare exactly the size, position, height of the element in the application. So that is the input for us. We should not decide our own. So testing of the error message. What is the second point? Testing of the error messages that are getting displayed. So whenever you do some kind of invariant actions, suppose there is a text box and it is allowing 8 characters and entering more than 8 characters or entering special characters, and that element display the error message, right? And those type of messages we have to validate. And testing the different sections of the screen. So different sections means what? Logo. Logo, that is one section, elements one section, header, footer. That is all these things we need to verify. That is different sections of the screen. Testing of the font, whether it is readable or not. So in some application, we can't read the font properly, right? And that should be readable. So as a user should understand the font. The type of font have to be checked. The size of the font. Heading should be some font in some size, and the body of the text, body of the page should be having some size, and some text appears in different colors like links, main objects. So these things we have to be verified. And what is fifth point? Testing of the screen in different resolutions with the help of zooming in and zoom out. Normally, when I open the screen, I can zoom in and zoom out, right? Even the web user interface, we can increase the size of the UI and also zoom out. So we can compress the UI. So in both the cases, elements and images, whatever you placed in the UI should not be overlap. So wherever and whichever the position they are, after zoom in and zoom out, the element should be in the same position and not be overlap. Okay. And what is sixth point? Testing the alignment of the text and other elements like icons, buttons, etc. are in proper place or not. So sometimes we see text messages and some icons will be placed on the UI and buttons. So these elements should be placed on the UI and in exact position. For example, as per the requirement, login is placed in the right side of the screen or top of the screen, right? But developer placed login place in the left side of the screen. But in our requirement, right side of the screen. So even that also considered as a bug. So according to the requirement, wherever we are expecting that element should be there and should be there in the same position. So next, testing the colors of the font. So this is also important thing because colors will attract the users. We have to use proper colors, and most of the time we should avoid red and some colors which are very like our eyes considered as a dangerous colors. So our web page should look very cool and clean, and that type of fonts we have to check. So this is also our part of the design. So what kind of colors we have to use? So normal text colors in one color, links will be in another color, headings will be in another color. So we have to focus on color of the font also. Next, testing whether the image has good clarity or not. So sometimes image placed in the UI, especially logos, so those image should have clarity. So it have pixels. So the clarity of the image should be there. So it should not blur or anything. It should be clear. So another point is testing the alignment of the very images. Means image of the alignment should have verified. Okay, that where the images should have place. That also need to be verified according to the requirement and design. And what is the next point? Testing of the spelling. So there will be some text, right? We should focus all text is properly written or not, and it should not be spelling mistakes. That also be verified as part of UI testing. And what is that? The user must not get frustrated while using the system interface. So as I said, the first interface is UI. So where user will use it. So user should attract with the application. We should not frustrated by seeing the font or color or size, position. So first priority will give to the UI because the user will interact with the UI only. So if UI is ugly, next time the user will not use it, right? So it should be very clear and cool fonts will be used. So that have to make sure while testing of UI. So next, testing whether the interface is attractive or not. Interface means UI. So testing of the scroll bars according to the size of the page, if any. So sometimes if the page is very small and having small content, the scroll bar will not appear, right? So as soon as you are increasing the content of the web page, the scroll bar will come like horizontal and vertical scrolls. So once we're scrolling the page bottom or up, you can see the all of the content of the web page. Here we test the scroll bar are properly working or not according to the size of the page. And next, testing of the disabled fields, if any. So disabled fields means what it is the meaning, what it means. So suppose the text box is there and in that it is disabled. It means disabled means we can't enter the data into the text box, right? Suppose a name field is there. Okay, in that we have to provide our name. If the text box is in disabled state, we cannot provide the name. So testing the disabled field that we have to test. So this comes under sometimes GUI and sometimes functional also. So object property we have to be verified. So next point is testing of the size of the images. So whenever you place some image, the size is also important. So what kind of size it is and how much size it is. So that we have to verify. So size in the sense, the appearance, how much width and length. Okay, that is one size. So another one is size means 1 KB, 2 KB, 10 KB. So this is the actual size. So images should not have huge size. So while browsing the application, the loading will be very slow. The performance will be impacted. So always make sure the image is having less size. At the same time, the image should be very clear. So these things we are mainly focus on the UI. And if you take one example, while uploading images, if it is 10 KB, if size is huge, they're restricted, right? And they are not allowing the image for uploading the image. I think in your in your daily regular basis, you experience this scenario. I hope so. So this is a testing of the headings, whether it is properly aligned or not. So normally heading will be starting of the page or right side or left side of the page. That should be the bigger size. We have to verify that. So testing of the color of the hyperlink. Especially we have to take care of the hyperlink. Hyperlink means what? It is a link. When I click on the hyperlink, which will be navigate to some other page. So before clicking on the link, it should appearing in one color. After clicking on it, it should turn in another color. So I think you may observe this kind of behavior while Google it. So it should be in different fonts in different color. Once you click on it, it turn in another color. Google links, for example, Google links, right? First you click on it, it will turn in blue color and enter into that page. When you back and see it, it should turn in another color. So basically, it is saying that link should be already clicked. So the color of the hyperlinks we need to verify. And what is that? Basically, and what is last point is testing UI elements like button, text box, text area, checkbox, radio buttons, drop downs, links, etc. So what is the difference between text box and text area? So in text box, we just provide a small text. So whereas in text area, we just pass a huge text like the address of you and of anyone. So it contains a lot of things. And checkbox means if you see in register male, female, okay, that is a checkboxes. If you select only one, okay, and radio buttons. Radio buttons where you will see agree, disagree. If you something if you registered something application like Gmail application starting there is a terms and conditions, right? Agree, disagree. So that is the radio button. We can select only one option. And drop down countries drop down. So countries drop down means I can select only one country. So our main intention is on UI elements. These are all different things we have to test as part of graphical user interface testing. So for that, we have to prepare the checklist like this. Then we will test it and update the checklist. Okay, clear everything? Rajesh and Kiran?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. So next, usability testing. So I'll explain this. So usability testing means easiness of the application. Suppose if you provide some application to the user, so they should able to use the application very easily or easy manner. So it should not be complex. So what we will focus here, every application, you may see something called help menu, right? So help menu will be there at the corner. So why we provide that? Suppose user stuck somewhere, user not able to do it something, you can refer the help menu. So go to help menu and type the question and you will get the answer. And then you can do the action. So that is type of a help we provide to the user. So about application and that we have to verify. So what is the definition of usability testing? During the testing, validates application provided contest sensitive help or not to the user. So, which is also called as contest sensitive help testing. For example, if you take Windows, if you press F1 or F2, it will give help menu. Let me check. See, you got it right. Help. I just uh, press on function key F1. So it will give a help menu. So if I type any question, it will give the answer, right? We will get the answer and then we can do the any action. So whatever you type the questions, it will give the related answers. That is a context sensitive help. For example, if you take mobile, car, bike, there is also help menu, right? It should be very simple English that should understand the user. Sorry. So what I'm saying, so if you take a mobile, car, bike, there is a help menu, right? So it should be very simple English that should be understand the user. By taking that help menu, they can do it by own. That should be like this. So what is the definition? Check how easily the end users are able to understand and operate the application is called usability testing. So help menu means it will be in a PDF form or document. Guys. So if you see help menu, you can get a PDF form, document, hard copy, soft copy. So main role is what? Main role is developer. So they can make it complex or simple. So our responsibility is to test whether the easy or not. So we can assign to developer for simplify that. If it is complex, then we just assign to the developer to simplify that. Okay, that is the meaning of usability testing. And next, we will see in tomorrow's session functional testing and what is functionalities, and we will see this properties, object property testing, database, error handling, calculations, everything we will see in the next session. Okay, so is it clear, guys?
Yes, it is clear.
This is clear.
Yeah. So see you tomorrow, guys. So this document also you will get it. We will give the drive access of that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, and have a good day. Take care.
Yeah,
Thank
same
you.
to you.
Bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye.
Bye.